From ClarkWoods.com, this is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 103. I am Chris.
And I'm Steve.
And here we go.
Did you get all that?
I did.
Good.
I was trying to just let it speak for itself. I'm drinking. You know why I'm drinking? I mean, I told you, but they don't know why.
I have no idea.
No. I mean, I did tell you, but I don't know if
I'm pretending not to have any idea. Tell me why you're drinking.
Well, I'm drinking. Maybe I didn't properly convey how upset I was about this. So you remember, like back in the day, when the Nintendo Wii first came out.
Oh, yeah.
Wii. You had the remotes. And
the remotes have like these condoms that you're supposed to put on them.
Yes.
Do you have those on your remotes?
All but one of them. Yes, we do have.
All but one of them. That's
Yes.
interesting.
Now they also have
A wrist strap.
a wrist strap. Now the wrist strap I think is more important than the condom right here because you got to strap in. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't be making innuendos when this story, this anecdote, this yarn that I'm spinning involves
involves your young
involves
child.
my young child.
Yeah, so let's not make it sexual,
yes,
Chris,
let's
for
not
Christ's
do that.
sake.
So, back in the day, there were a lot of news stories about the fact that people would let go of their remote accidentally, and it would crash into their expensive $1,000, multi-$1,000 flat screen TVs, and just they'd go.
Well, when the original Wii came out, like this was 2007.
Something like that.
I think almost 10 years ago. Shit, man.
Shit.
So
That's how far behind the video game revolution I am.
well, there's only been one console generation since.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
it hasn't. Well, I think the longevity of a actually no, because the Nintendo came out in 1985, and the Super Nintendo didn't come out till 1990 even. I think either that
Something
or 91.
like that. Yeah.
So that had a good 5-year lifespan.
Yeah.
So I guess it hasn't changed. I'm pulling shit out of my ass directly.
Ooh, yuck. Do you at least use some fucking toilet paper when you do that, or do you use like a prophylactic of some sort?
Prophylactic.
Yeah. I mean, like gloves or something when you're pulling the shit out of your ass.
These are much better than kumquats.
These are much better than kumquats.
We're eating strawberries, everybody.
I know how much kumquats cost. Drink.
Is that Patton Oswalt?
It is. So there were these stories about how people would chuck their remotes at the TV. And today, we had a bunch of family over.
Oh, wait, I forgot what my point was
yes, go ahead.
about saying that it was back in 2007. I still had a tube television back in 2007. So it probably would have been great if I smashed my television.
It would have been giving you an excuse to get a flash.
Actually, not that. I doubt it would have made even a. It might have put a small ding in the screen, but I doubt it would. You were really trying there, weren't you?
Tube TVs were built to last. I mean, the TV that I had
until like one of the colors stopped working, and then it just looked like crap.
Yeah, the TV that I had as a kid was a piece of furniture. Like the screen wasn't that big, but it was a piece of furniture. Like it was a big old console, and if you had hit that thing with anything shy of a hammer, you probably would have hurt whatever the thing was.
Yeah, we had one growing up that was we used it as a table for the next TV we got after it broke.
My parents
because it was a giant freaking it was like the TV. It was a TV stand.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the first TV, but the next console TV that they got to replace that first TV. When that one went, whatever was the replacement went on top of it for a while. I recall. At any rate, we had a bunch of family over today.
Oh, but
sorry. Your point.
I no, this is not like.
Are you getting horribly?
No. There was just something.
Off
we
topic.
were driving to Paul's house one time, me and Garen, in his like giant boat of a car.
Yes.
And there was so many things that like if Garen was driving and like something happened, like he would just completely go off track of what we were planning on doing.
Okay.
So I'll talk about a previous situation, and then I'll talk about the one that has something to do with what we're talking about. So I'm not going to be that far horribly off topic, blah, 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 drink. So we were driving down the road one time, and we saw an ice cream truck driving the other way. I think he slammed on the brakes and did a 180 into the other lane. And when we followed...
Now, you said big boat of a car. Do you remember what model?
I have no idea. I think it might have been a Buick, but...
LeSabre, something like that.
It was enormous. It was a fucking enormous car.
Yeah.
Like you like all of the group of, like, we could have fit all of the New Sweethearts and every band member and every iteration that we ever had
into Garen's
car comfortably.
Oh, interesting.
So we're following, like, we had come from, I think we were coming from North Chelmsford, like at the Williamsburg area.
Yeah.
And then we had driven to another part of town, and then basically, following the ice cream truck, ended up back at Williamsburg.
It took me a second. I was writing down something you just made me think of. Okay. Yeah.
And then another time we were on our way to Paul's, and then Karen slams on the brakes and goes, "Free TV!" And there was a TV on the side of the road, which was really big, and we couldn't fit into his trunk.
Oh, so into his big-ass trunk.
Yeah, we couldn't, but we got it enough so we could shut the trunk most of the way, and we drove to Paul's with it. And then we took it out of his trunk and put it in Paul's garage. Paul comes out, he's like, "What are you guys doing?" We were like, "We got this TV." He's like, "All right." So we unhooked Paul's parents' cable, and then dragged the wire out to the garage.
To see if it worked?
No, we didn't need the cable to see if it worked.
Right.
But we plugged in the TV, and we hooked up the cable to that TV in the garage. And we just turned it on, and then left it on. Oh, geez. And then his parents came home, and we were like, "What is this fucking TV doing in the fucking garage?"
Paul's poor parents.
Oh, the things we put them through.
The things you did to those poor people.
Yeah, and we hooked the cable back up.
It's
not like we fucking left it that way. One of the colors was gone in the TV. That's why I had mentioned that earlier.
That sucks.
So back to the Wii.
Back to the Wii. So we had a bunch of family over. The kids were, the occasion was this part of the family had not seen the new room that we'd made out of the old garage. So the kids were playing Wii, the kids were playing board games or whatever in that room, and then it was lunchtime and everybody came into the other room except for my daughter Melody. And this is where the details get fuzzy, but at some point it sounds like she was playing, she's been really liking Frisbee on Wii Sports Resort. And so she's been playing with the Frisbee dog, and so at some point the Wiimote flung out of her hand and into the bottom right-hand corner of the TV.
Oh, okay.
Now, if she is to be believed, and it's hard to know, like, she's trying to be as honest as possible, but with a 6-year-old, eventually they might just be making up details to try and, I might be leading the witness, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you just got to let her bury herself.
Because her initial description was, yes, I did it. It was an accident. And then while Stephanie and I were out buying a new TV, my mother was talking with her about it and said, "Well, we haven't told Grampy yet because we don't want Grampy to freak out." And she said, "Well, Grampy was in the room with me."
What?
So we were all like, "What?" And so we still haven't told my dad yet. We set up the TV. The family leaves. My dad comes in, and he sees the old TV on the floor. He said, "What happened to the TV?" And we are trying to tell him, "Look, Melody said you were in the room, and she flung it and hit and it hit the TV." He said, "No, it didn't. It hit the wall." So as I was getting ready to come, and my dad was insistent, "It hit the wall, hit the wall, hit the wall." As I was getting ready to come here tonight, I sat down and I wanted to see if I could set the record straight. As Melody and I, lately at least, have a good rapport. And I said to her, what happened? Did you hit the wall or did you hit the TV? And she said, it happened twice, was basically what it came down to. And then it was about the sequence of events. And we think she might have hit the TV when nobody was in the room. And then my dad came in, and then she did it again and hit the wall. And then whatever that dent was just gradually got worse until the TV
Just stopped working.
stopped working altogether.
Boo.
So we had to go out and buy a new TV, which we don't have money for. We kind of do, we kind of don't. We just had to spend multi-thousands of dollars on car repairs, or not multi-thousands of dollars, but like $1,500 on car repairs. And but the thing is, you live with your folks. And this is why I'm drinking. To get back to the point, this is why I'm drinking. When you live with your folks and your parents love you, at least my mom really wants to like still protect me. She's still like a mama bear, like wants to protect her young. But like it's my kid that made the mistake, and I selfishly wanted a TV in that room because that's where I go when I exercise in the morning.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to walk in there tomorrow morning and have a broken TV. But more than that, it's my kid that made the mistake, and I felt like we should be the ones to pay for it. And Stephanie agreed, and so we went out and we paid for it. But man, it's hard. She's broken two
televisions?
No, she's broken two iPad screens at this point. She's dropped her iPad twice, and now she's broken a TV screen. But she's a kid,
Okay.
And so I'm drinking.
Okay,
and now I can't decide which of us gets to have the last strawberry.
You can have it, but you just had to buy a new TV.
Okay,
but
thank you.
So
this is a sympathy strawberry.
It was an accident, but she did something wrong. So what exactly did you guys? Is she like punished or anything? She's not allowed to do something, or
she didn't.
There may not have been malice, but something still did go wrong.
We need the way I approached it. The thing I was most...
I'm just curious. I'm not...
Parenting 101, or parenting... The thing that upset me the most, honestly, is just that she didn't come and tell us. Because I was walking through that room, and Kaylee, my older daughter, said to me, why isn't the TV working? And I looked down at the bottom right-hand corner, and I saw the telltale sign of a dent and, part of an LED screen that's like trying to do what an LED screen does, but all that it can do is light up that one little corner. So then I had to ask around. My cousin thought maybe it was her kids, until finally Melody passed through, and I said, Melody, what happened to the TV? Were you in here? And that's when she told me. So the thing that upset me the most is that she didn't feel comfortable coming to me and telling me the truth, which to me says that I still have work to do as a parent, of being someone that she can... obviously any kid, Stephanie made this point to me, any kid is going to be scared to tell their parent that they just broke the damn TV.
Yeah.
But I want her to be scared, but still... I'd rather she wasn't scared. But accepting that she's going to be scared, I'd rather she come to me and talk to me about it. So that was what upsetting to me. So part of the job has been to reassure her if something goes wrong, she needs to tell us about it, because, next time it would be something more dangerous. I don't know what... And then the other part of it is to sit down with her, which my dad had done, because after she hit the wall, he went over how to adjust the strap. So we have to just reiterate that part of it. If she's going to be in the room, she's loving playing the Wii, and she'll go down there and entertain herself.
Just need to get one of those new rubber TVs.
Rubber TVs. So
anyway. I'm surprised that, like... Actually, no, I'm not. Why the fuck would they make things not breakable?
I don't know.
Because they want the fucking thing to break.
Well, yeah,
they want you to not get the warranty, and they want it to fucking break.
Well, and when we went into big box electronics store, I asked them. I said, if we had bought the...
Why do I have to give my phone number?
If I had bought the warranty, if my mother had bought the warranty, because she bought the original, would this have been covered? No. It doesn't cover accidental damage.
What the fuck does it cover?
I don't fucking know. That was one of the things when I worked at Apple that was the hardest was explaining to people on the... so I could explain to you on like on a MacBook why you would get Apple Care.
Okay.
I was the terrible salesman.
Give me your sales pitch, Chris.
Okay. And
why should I get this Apple Care on this Macintosh product?
So if we were talking about older Macintoshes, right, with spinning hard disks, it's a fact that your spinning hard disk is going to fail one day. I think I've talked about recently the spinning hard disk in my iMac failed.
Oh.
Right? So even though my iMac is probably not going to get doused with water, which isn't covered, and probably isn't going to get its screen smashed, which isn't covered, the spinning hard drive could fail, or any of the components inside. And as these things have gotten more compact and less able to be fixed by users, having that 3 years of protection was the peace of mind. If anything mechanical went wrong through no fault of yours, it was going to be covered for 3 years. And it's a machine. It's got moving parts. Something's going to break, right? So, yeah, I get that. But with a big TV, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
How about an iPhone? What if you drop your goddamn phone?
Now, phones was the different thing. At that point when I was working there, and I think it's still the case today, which is why I get it, if you buy their Apple Care Plus protection plan and you drop it and break the screen, you can get a full-on replacement. Or if they are using a model where they can replace just the screen, they'll replace the screen for you. There is a deductible, but it's not anywhere near the cost of fully replacing the phone. So there is accidental coverage on the smaller things, which are more likely to
break.
To
like
break.
a thing you're carrying around with you
Right.
every day and trying to search for fucking Pokemon.
Yes. Oh, Pokemon. So last week, you told me. My recollection is you told me I needed to get on that.
I might have said those words, but in reality, what I wanted you to do was give it a shot.
And
you gave Treasure Cruise a shot, and it required a little bit too much timing.
Because I'm pathetic. I am here to tell you that I did give Pokemon a shot.
You did?
I did.
Wow, you didn't tell me this before. This is a curveball.
Breaking news. Yeah, no, we so was it Tuesday, Wednesday? I don't know. It was shortly after the show came out, and last week, and the momentum of it in terms of the news continued to build, and my kids were aware of it, and we were out on a walk on maybe Monday or Tuesday, and we saw people doing it, and I said, you know what, let's do this. And so we first tried to get it on Kaylee's phone because she's young.
Well, the thing is, the app is
buggy.
Is very buggy at this point,
Yeah.
and it ate the chop fruit. There's your reference. I missed one last week.
Yeah, you got at least one now.
Yeah.
Are you going to make up for lost time? Is there going to be another one later?
Who knows? Yeah, it's buggy, and the servers are not able to handle the amount of people that are playing the fucking game.
Right. Well, the mistake we made with putting it on Kaylee's phone was honesty. So, I don't know. You probably wouldn't have encountered this
because I refuse to pay for any sort of free to play.
No.
Oh,
so this is where we were. So we put it on Kaylee's phone, and then it asked us, "How old is Kaylee?" And so we told it how old Kaylee was, and that removed the option to sign in with Google and left only the option to sign in with the Pokemon server.
Which didn't work at that point.
Didn't work at that point. So Kaylee was SOL on her phone, so we put it on my phone where we told it my age, and then...
It's like, fine.
It's like, fine.
Fine, old man.
Fine, old man.
You better not be trying to find children with this.
Your Google account. And so I put it on my phone, and then we went out. In theory, all four of us, we were all going out for a walk, but me and Melody and Kaylee got too obsessed with it, and Stephanie was out actually trying to get exercise. Finally, Kaylee got fed up with it as well, just because it wasn't working quite right, and she wanted to go off and get the walk in with Steph. So they went off, and Melody and I started playing it, and had a grand old time. It was there is a training center near the path that we were walking by.
Was it like a checkpoint or a gym?
I want to say it was a gym. Was
it a block that turns into a thing that you can spin around to get Pokeballs and whatnot, or was
we didn't go into it? We could see it nearby, but it was like a very tall.
Okay, so
structure.
that's a gym.
Yeah. And we didn't get that far, and that's part of where we're at. And it's not on my phone anymore right now because I was afraid I was just going to get obsessive about it. And I might put it back on because it was fun. But so we collected a few things, but then I had no idea what to do with them.
basically that gym that you may or may not ever encounter.
Right.
The Pokemon that once you reach level 5,
Yes.
you can,
and we hadn't gotten there yet. That was
so you just keep on catching Pokemon until you reach level 5, and you can use the Pokemon that you have to battle at the gyms. Eventually, there'll be some sort of functionality where you can battle your friends.
right, but that's not in there yet.
That's not in there yet.
Okay. But no, it was fun.
And battling it, like. I think I said last weekend, like I had no idea what I was supposed to do. Like I was just like, apparently when you're in a battle, it's not like turn-based like the actual Pokemon game on any of the Game Boy consoles. You have to swipe left or right if you want to try to dodge an attack that your opponent's doing. And you just tap to do your there's like 2 attacks that you can do, like a normal attack, and then you hold down the button or you hold down the screen if you want to do your special attack, but you have to make sure that gauge has been filled before you can do that.
It doesn't seem like it will be as intimidating for me as Treasure Cruise was, which is all about timing. And yet there were times when I would be standing right.
But
in
you
front
have
of
to time it right when you throw the Pokeball to get.
That was
you want it when it's like as small as possible, not as big as possible, which is the exact opposite of what I thought should.
The inverse.
Yes, you want it. You want the circle to be really small. And
That's
you can throw a curveball. I just learned this: if you twirl the Pokeball around in the middle of the screen and then you kind of throw it off to the side, it'll curve around and.
Interesting.
You get more experience if you catch a Pokeball or Pokemon with a curveball.
Yeah. Did you have fun with it this week?
Yeah, I caught a bunch.
Yeah.
I've been annoying the people that I go on my walk with at work because they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm catching Pokemon."
Oh God.
Like, shut up, really? And I'm like, "Yes, this is something that me and the rest of the world are doing." I'm sorry
that has been one of the things I mean, we don't need to rehash.
And this is me, the consummate contrarian, doing something that everybody else in the world is doing.
Right.
It's like the whole world's gone fucking bonkers upside down. Right?
Right.
I always liked Pokemon, even from the beginning. I actually had to get myself to stop playing it. I played Pokemon Blue. I think your brother had Red, or maybe it was vice versa.
Yeah.
And then I got Silver, and I think somebody I knew had Pokemon Gold.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, when
it's like smoking.
What was the ones after that? Ruby and Sapphire.
I don't know.
But I've actually played. They re-released Ruby and Sapphire on the 3DS, and I played it now. But I never played the ones after that. I forgot.
Yeah. You have a better control over your addiction now?
No.
You ever stop being You never stop being a Pokeholic?
It's just that I have the OCD that makes me want to catch them all.
Yeah, right.
And it's like the problem with, at least back then, is that trading Pokemon was a chore. You actually had to be in a room with another person to trade Pokemon with them.
Yeah.
And the way you would get a certain amount of like the original 3 Pokemon, like whatever ones you get at the beginning of the game, you have the choice of one of 3.
Yeah.
And at that point, you basically had to have a friend that was willing to go through the beginning of the game and then trade you those Pokemon.
Okay.
The other ones you didn't pick.
Right.
And in Generation 1, you couldn't breed Pokemon, so you couldn't get extra copies of them and trade them afterwards. So
when you trade them, do you lose, or are you trading like an extra copy or an extra Pokemon? Not copy. That's demeaning to Pokemon, I suppose. But you're
trading the one that you have and giving them to another person, and they're giving you one of theirs.
Okay, but so do you? But if you have a Pikachu and you trade it to someone else, you no longer have a Pikachu.
Correct, unless you have 2 Pikachus.
Okay, is it Pikachu?
Pikachu, there you stole my joke.
No, we had fun with it.
You get that at Starbucks. They have the new Pikachu tea.
Pikachu tea. You get it with steamed milk. How it works. It's chai. That was a thing. That was one of the first. A friend of mine, John. I think it was John Martin, who I used to do a show with. I was going to say who I do the Generation Goat show with, but
the one that doesn't live in this country anymore.
We the most of the ones that we did were when he didn't live in this country.
Okay, well, fine.
I didn't via Skype.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, and I think he's not caught up, but he does listen to the show. So
that's nice. Thanks. Hi, John.
But John liked chai tea, and that was one of those things that I think he tried to get me into, and it wasn't my speed.
Yeah, it's not bad when I'm sick because the spices
Yeah.
clear out the sinuses.
Yeah, like anything like the teas and stuff like that. When I'm sick, all bets are off. Like I don't usually eat a lot of. I don't drink a lot of strawberries. Of soup. No, I don't usually eat a lot of strawberries either. But when I do, they are yummy.
So yeah, I'm glad you played it a little bit. Sorry, had a little bit of a throat bubble there.
A little bit of a throat bubble.
I'm glad you played it, enjoyed it a little bit, and I'm glad that you got to experience the
joy,
the worldwide phenomenon that has been going on for 20 fucking years called Pokemon. And you finally just broke down.
Finally broke down and did it. And well, although that was my point earlier that I didn't get to was being on Facebook and seeing both people who were like aggravated by the amount of Pokemon in their feed, like me, like the curmudgeon that I was being last week, and the people just like there was much more of the other people who were like listen, if I'm having fun, it doesn't matter if it's a dumb card game or jerking off to internet porn. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to have fun.
I see. But the thing is, when it's people being a jerk and a jerk to other people, then it just becomes less fun. If it's a person just being like, I needed to catch this Zubat because it was about to attack my corgi, and then says a line that says this app is going to ruin my marriage.
Have you heard that?
That was something that Becky was showing me. It was like a picture because, like, you can turn off the camera. You don't have to be catching Pokemon, which I do because it's easier to catch them when the fucking camera's not on. Mm-hmm. But you can catch Pokemon with the camera going, so you can have a Pokemon right next to your dog or your kid or whatever else.
But first one that I caught, or one of the first ones I caught, was in the basket of my daughter's bicycle.
Oh,
it was very cute.
What was it? A Pidgey?
Yes, I think it was a Pidgey. Now that you ask me, I'm like, was
probably
that
a Pidgey, a Spearow, a Weedle, or a Caterpie?
There were a lot of Pidgeys we were catching that day. Yeah, that's Pidgey, right?
Yep. Oh, that's cute.
It's very cute. Yeah, so we did that. We played some Pokemon.
See, the problem is that they just don't have. They didn't realize. I wish. Like, this is like, things
you wish you were in charge of the
No. This is like, I wish I had just had the sense to buy a shit ton of Nintendo stock like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Because they weren't like, even after E3, they didn't have like, crazy stock bump or anything like that. But then the moment this fucking app launched, it fucking went
yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, it's got to be their biggest hit in ages.
Yeah, since the Wii U.
And
I mean, I have a Wii U. I really like it. I wish more people did.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great games for it. Buy one. They're probably really cheap at this point.
I have wondered about that, if we were going to invest in another system, what we would get. But I mean, now it is getting played. The Wii is getting played, and I think the Wii U. But then I think I don't know.
Well, if you wait like maybe another couple of months and they announce their next system, the price will probably drop again, and you can transfer everything you have on your Wii to your Wii U.
Yeah,
and you can use the same controllers.
I got to tell you. That was the thing that I ran into the most trouble with. So
you can't play GameCube games anymore like you were so much.
Yeah, I never had a GameCube, so I was fine. But we had two Wii units in the house, my mom's and mine.
Wii unit?
Wii unit! We had two in the house, and we hooked up, when we set up the new room, we hooked up my mother's because, it's their house, and I wanted them to have all the stuff they were familiar with. But I went to transfer, because I'm stupid and I didn't think about how Nintendo works. I went to transfer all of my Rock Band stuff from my Wii over to my parents' Wii and found out the hard way that doesn't work.
Well, you can put it on like an SD card.
I did.
Oh, it didn't work?
It doesn't work.
Oh.
You can't You can't transfer it because all of the purchases are tied to the console and not to any kind of Nintendo ID. Because
should be. Oh wait,
well, because on a Wii, not
on a regular Wii, you're right.
Wii, which is why,
the Wii U has.
Once you migrate, I think everything gets tied to
your Nintendo ID.
Yeah, but that's only if you're migrating from a Wii to a Wii U, not from one Wii to another Wii. So all the stuff that I had done in Rock Band 3...
You had to do again?
Well, no. I mean, because here's the thing is I bought a whole bunch of songs. I can't. The store is shut down. So I can't even rebuy them if I wanted to. So my choice is, if I want to play Rock Band, I probably got to just bring my console downstairs, plug it in, and...
The store's not shut down.
I don't think you can go in
Well, it's probably the Rock Band
store.
Yeah, it's probably like Harmonix probably stopped supporting it on the Wii and probably PS3. Well, they might still support it on the PS3.
Yeah, it's whatever the case, I can't re-download my stuff, and
I'm sorry, Chris.
It's all right. I like to. My daughter liked to do karaoke too, but we were trying to find a karaoke. Kaylee loves doing that, and that was the main thing I used Rock Band 3 for. But we were trying to find.
I brought it with me this time. I didn't have to go get it.
We were trying to find a karaoke app on iOS for Kaylee, and none of them were cheap. They all required a pretty exorbitant monthly fee to have access to all of the songs.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
See, I don't know. I think just
sing along with
I think just let me freaking have all these karaoke versions for free. Come on.
Nice. That would be
enough
nice.
of this shit.
Well, and there are a lot of we have a family subscription to Apple Music. There probably are a whole bunch of karaoke things on there, but what she was missing so that she could just play it through the music app, but there aren't lyrics that are part of that. Yeah. I think in the next version of the music app, there will be a space for lyrics, and I would imagine that the karaoke people will go ahead and put that in there. But she also wants to be on like every damn social... she's got friends whose parents must be lying about their age to get them onto Instagram and Musical.ly and all of these things that all the kids these days are doing. Kaylee desperately wants to be on it, but I refuse to lie about her age. Like, you have to be 13 to get onto it, and that's all there is to it. I'm not going to violate the terms of service.
Yeah, that and the fact that you don't necessarily...
I also don't want my daughter on Instagram right now.
Yeah. I mean... People like...
I mean, there are worse places she could be.
People like us, like Becky and I, she has Instagram. I do not because, me and social media.
I do.
But I take advantage of her Instagram and all the cute puppy videos / pictures.
Is she on Tumblr?
Which
does Becky have Tumblr?
I don't know.
Okay,
that's something you'll have to ask her before you leave.
Well, you mentioned cute puppies, and is
that a good place for cute puppies? Is Tumblr?
There's a what the hell is it called? I guess I took Tumblr off my phone.
Oh.
It's like best day ever, or like make your day, or some damn thing that's on the Tumblr, which is always cute animals, and it's just like if you're having a terrible day, you go to this Tumblr and it's just pictures of adorable animals.
Well, we don't necessarily need that because
they
of all the channels we follow on Instagram. There's plenty of people holding a puppy right above the water, and they're putting their paws in and swimming. And they're like, "Oh, this is what I need to do."
I'm a puppy. I need to swim. I'm a cute little puppy.
My instincts are kicking in.
I'm doing the doggy paddle.
And then we saw a corgi going down a water slide. It's pretty fun.
Is that a euphemism?
No, it was literally what we saw. It was a dog coming out of a water slide pipe into a little pool.
That's what she said.
No.
Oh, really? Was a dog?
Didn't see. She didn't say anything. We looked at this
really
video.
A dog coming down a water slide. That's too
I swear to God, Chris. Stop trying to make this dirty.
It's
not dirty. It's adorable.
Are you sure the dog wasn't dirty before it got on the water slide?
It looked fine.
It was not taking a bath?
We were at a barbecue yesterday, and we saw there was a dog. I think it was a Scotty dog and corgi mix.
Okay.
And she was...
That sounds cute.
Her name was Dinah.
Dinah.
And I remember that because they were like, someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, and that's what reminded me of the dog's name. And so I will know this dog's name for probably the rest of my life. And
Dinah
some sort of useful information might have just gotten pushed out.
Dinah was the name of Alice's sister's cat.
Alice's sister's cat?
Yeah.
Oh, in Alice in Wonderland?
Or was it Alice's cat? I can't remember. Dinah was the cat. I know Dinah was the cat, and I don't think Dinah shows up again. I don't think Dinah is meant to be the Cheshire Cat in the same way that like Mrs. Gulch is meant to be the Wicked Witch in Wizard of Oz. I don't think it's like that kind of a thing, but Dinah is a cat, and then Dinah doesn't show up again.
I gotta talk to you about pinball for a second. Drink.
Apropos of nothing.
There's the Wizard of Oz pinball machine.
I have played that one.
It's like they have like
terribly, but
yeah, I mean it's not an easy game. Like it's not a game that you can just sit down and be like, oh, wow, I'm really great at this.
Oh, I'm really good at it.
It's fucking difficult. It's not like you need to practice a shit ton. To actually be somewhat good at it. So, they have the little outlane. Which is like it's like a freeway. How fucking large that outlane is on the right side.
Okay, yeah, I'm remembering.
And it has like the letters TOTO for Toto. And if the ball rolls over all four of them, you get a chance. You get the ball back, and then you have to.
You have a chance to chase the rains down in Africa.
No, you. What? Oh. I'm like, I was like, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. You're talking about the band Toto.
Yeah, sorry. The letters Toto are down the side. You were saying
it's smooth music that also rocks. So it'll roll over. If it rolls over those letters, you get a chance to play again.
Yeah.
But you have to do so many absurd things to actually get your ball back.
Yeah.
Like for reals. Like you get the ball back and there's like a bunch of targets that spell out rainbow. You have to hit every single one of those.
Holy shit.
That's task number 1.
Oh, okay.
And then I think you have to shoot alternating ramps, like one or two of them, like whatever's flashing. That's step 2.
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen step 3 or 4 because like it's a miracle if you get past step 1, and it's like, what the fuck, really,
really fucking
Jersey Jack pinball.
Jersey Jack pinball.
Yes. It's now there's more than one company making pinball machines.
That's a fine thing for the pinball industry. Competition.
Yes, there's Jersey Jack and there's Stern, and I think there's a couple of. I invented pinball, Robin. I think there's whatever the fucking Dutch pinball, I think, is the company that is allegedly making the Big Lebowski machine, which I have yet to see anywhere. And we've been talking about
machine.
Yes,
You're really tied Donnie.
Really tied the room together. Like that's allegedly been in production for well over, I think, 2 years now.
Yeah,
and I've yet to see one in real life.
So wait, have you seen pictures of it somewhere?
Yes, like it exists. I've seen people playing it.
So it does exist.
It does exist, but like it's not anywhere like where I go.
Yeah. Not at Pinball Wizard or.
It's not a Pinball Wizard. It's not at Lanes and Games. Although they do have the new Ghostbusters one at Lanes and Games.
Oh, with the ladies?
No, it's with the guys.
Oh, with the guys.
It's classic. We did go to see it.
Oh, you went to go see it, and what was
not the pinball machine, which we did.
Okay,
but we also went to see the movie.
Yes, and what was the verdict?
I liked it. It wasn't a bad movie. It does not. It pales in comparison to the original, which is probably one of my.
As pretty much any movie would.
Yeah, because it's like Ghostbusters, the original, and Back to the Future, the original, are probably 2 of my favorite movies of all time.
I imagine none of the ladies gets eaten out by a ghost.
No. There's no ghost Cunnilingus going on. But the thing is, like, we actually watched the original the next morning, like while we were having our breakfast, and you know the both the movies suffer from third act, like, what the fuck do we do kind of situations. Yeah, both the first 2 acts, the setup, and the climax and whatnot, everything's great up until that point, and then they're like, fuck, what do we do? Like, there's like, it's such a grand situation, and it just keeps on getting more and more grandiose, and you're like,
Well, that's a problem. Marvel movies certainly have that problem for the most part. I mean, The Winter Soldier, which I think is a pretty impeccably done movie, has the problem of ending with a bunch of fucking floating aircraft carriers in the sky. Yeah. Like the rest of it is this great intense thriller, and then
it's a lot of like it's a lot more subtle of a superhero movie,
right,
than any that I've seen in recent memory.
Yeah,
up until the fucking giant like battle at the end. With Captain Falcon and
with Captain Falcon and
Captain America.
Iron America.
Iron America.
A tweet I favorited today
about Ghostbusters. From David Ehrlich. David Ehrlich is the senior film critic at IndieWire. David Ehrlich wrote, "The original Ghostbusters ends with a guy freaking out because a woman manifests a symbol of his childhood and it threatens to destroy him," which I hadn't really thought about. So, like, Dana is up there on the top of the building, or Dana as whoever Dana's possessed by, right? Yeah.
And she pulls out of the demonic ass the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, right? Which is it Ray that thinks? No, yeah. Who's it? It's Ray. It comes out of Ray. So like the climax of the movie that all of these douche nozzles on the internet were trying to defend is like what is happening here in real life, is that he has to deal with his childhood trying to destroy him, and they're all like, they're trying to destroy my childhood. You liked it.
That's a stretch, but it wasn't a bad movie. If it was a bad movie, I would say it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I want people to go to see movies with strong female characters.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that to exist, but what I don't enjoy, I find if it exists, but it annoys me to no end.
Yeah,
is just you're a misogynist if you don't like something that has strong female characters.
I absolutely agree.
And I'm like, I liked this movie. It was fun. Yeah. There was parts that were in the trailer that were garbage.
Yeah,
which is a lot of reason why people were really angry about this movie, because they were like, this looks really shitty.
Yeah.
And there was plenty of like humor in the movie that wasn't in the trailer that was fantastic.
I wonder how much of that is the studio, because the thing that I read, I have not seen the movie, but the headline that stuck out to me this week was the Paul Feig or Feig. Feig? Is he the director? Feig?
Yeah.
Paul Feig. The director came out and said, I think it's Kate McKinnon's character is gay, or is meant to be gay, but the studio would not let him say that. Now, does it matter in the course of the movie? I gather it does not. But the fact that the studio was like, no, you were not
and
allowed.
I think she steals almost every scene.
That's what I heard. I heard she was fantastic in it. But I wonder if the bad trailers...
I don't want to say that she... Because, Bill Murray kind of steals most of the scenes in the original, because he's...
Fucking Bill Murray.
No offense to the late great or Dan Aykroyd or Ernie Hudson,
right?
But like Bill Murray is just really sharp and funny and witty, and he does that extremely well in the original Ghostbusters,
right?
And so
Bill Murray does that in kind of every. I remember. I think Stripes was the first instance where, and I don't think I could have articulated this at the time, but Stripes was an instance where I remember watching the beginning of Stripes and thinking to myself, this movie is kind of, what? And yet it's Bill Murray. And I'm like, I can't take my eyes off of Bill Murray. Bill Murray and his fucking pizza and all the fun shit at the beginning.
Son of bitch, shit.
Yes.
That wasn't Bill Murray.
No, that was the late great.
Yeah.
People were terrified of things. This is the thought that was occurring to me when you said talking about misogyny a couple minutes ago. I was having this conversation with Stephanie the other day after they announced, he hadn't fully announced it yet, but it was becoming pretty obvious that Pence was going to be Donald Trump's VP running mate.
Oh, we're going back to politics, ladies and germs.
I was having this conversation, and I think
Oh, I was hoping it would be that moron up in Alaska. And I bet you there's plenty of women out there that were also calling her a moron.
I bet you there was.
And they weren't misogynist. They were just speaking the goddamn truth.
I think we have a lot of racist, misogynist people who are they are terrified of the women and the Hispanics and the immigrants in general, and how because
they're gonna take our jobs.
And I guess I could say we, although Stephanie was like, "You're not
the
one
we."
of them.
You got to be careful with the we. It might break your television.
I might break my television. But we as white men, like as a general, like we're kind of terrified of being relegated to the minority status that we're going to kind of be, because there are more women, aren't there?
Just slightly.
Fact check that. I don't know.
I think there is. I think it's approximately 50-50,
Yeah.
but I think there's slightly more women.
Yeah. And I remember, I don't remember the source of this report, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. I remember hearing
I'm pulling things out of my ass. So
I'm pulling things out of my ass with gloves on.
I'm
specify. Steve might not.
I hate
put the gloves
the ass pull, no me. Devil fruit references. That's lame, Steve.
I heard that Hispanics were going to outnumber Caucasians in the country by a certain year. I don't remember what that was, but it feels like we're hitting that, and now we've had 8 years of a black man in the White House.
I thought you were gonna just leave it at that. We've had 8 years of a black man.
8 years of a black man. And now we have a potential at least 4 years of a woman in the White House. And that's got to scare the shit out of these people. So they're going for the most racist, misogynist bastard they can think of. And what the hell is the tweet that I favorited that summed this up? Chris Breen, Trump. The guy I pick has to appeal to a demographic I'm not reaching. Trump's aide. Women, Muslims, people of color. Trump. Homophobes. Which is why he picks Pence, who signed the religious freedom bill in Indiana. And also, this was the one that when I read about it, I was glad to find out that it was a bill he signed, but it eventually did not turn into law, wanted to mandate funerals for abortions and miscarriages. He signed into law. Now they overturned it somewhere along the line, so this is not actually a thing. And it was mostly aimed at punishing women for having abortions. But the way it was worded essentially meant that if you were a woman and you had a miscarriage, which can happen so fucking early in the process,
or late in the process.
Well, yes, it can happen late in the process. But think about this: you're a woman.
You're already like going through enough.
Right.
Like as like if you have a miscarriage, like fuck you.
But think about this.
Like don't make me have a fucking funeral if that's not what I want to do to deal with this situation.
Right.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What makes it all the more worse and all the more horrifying is to think of that really early term miscarriage where, technically speaking, it only the doctor and the woman are probably going to have any sense of it at this point. But is the woman required to whatever? Like
she would have to tell everybody like that she didn't even inform that she was pregnant.
Right.
Like
she would have to. What would she bury? If you're talking about something in the first couple of months and she has a miscarriage? What is she? A bunch of blood?
Why do we even bury people anymore? Anyways. Why are we taking up real estate for people like...
I don't know. Why did Trump and Pence's first rendition of the logo, which I guess has since been taken away...
Oh, darn it.
Look like
it was only one day.
Look like the T is penetrating the P in... that Trump's T is
it's totally...
Pence's P. And of course...
that's like when someone's sounding when they put like something in someone's pee hole.
Oh god, it's like a fucking
whatever.
catheter.
Like I haven't scrolled on a porn site in a while, but every once in a while one of those will be on there, and I'll be like, and I'm like, it's not something I'll ever click on ever, but it's just like no, I don't even want to look at it.
Trump Pence.
Like I don't want to look at the thumbnail or whatever else.
A catheter for America.
Ugh.
But if my favorite is the the meme that I was glad somebody else made it, because if I didn't see it by the end of the weekend, I was going to go make it. And it was, of course, Beavis. Is it Beavis or Butthead?
Blonde hair was Beavis.
Okay, this is Beavis, holding his two hands up in the air with his shirt over his head, saying, "I am Cornholio, I need TP for my bunghole." And of course, the TP was replaced with the Trump-Pence logo.
That is a very relevant reference.
I was very happy
20
to see
years
that,
ago.
and I favorited that and re-Facebooked that, and I was all over that shit.
You know what sucks is, like, I really liked Beavis and Butthead as a show. But
What sucks is not Trump or Pence, but
No, that also sucks. But
okay. Beavis and Butthead, sorry.
But the thing is, like, you purchase it on the DVDs. I have since sold them because all the episodes, they're just like the cartoons,
right?
And not like the best part of that show is them
making fun of the music videos.
I didn't appreciate it as much when I was younger. But now I'm like, wow, that was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was the sort of thing that could only happen once on the live broadcast. And that's the problem. Now you get to DVDs, and it was the problem with Wonder Years. It's the problem with a show I liked ages ago called Ed.
there was a problem with the state.
That they used this great music that they had to pay one rate for if they were going to do it on broadcast, but to put it out on DVD or digital or whatever, the rights either aren't there or they're too expensive.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, like, at least with the state, I mean, they eventually got it out there.
Yeah.
But they got it out like way too late.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the Wonder Years was the same thing. They put out one version that didn't have the music, and then they finally put out a real version.
But like, it was like they re-recorded like musical tracks for a lot of the things, because like what MTV, this is just me regurgitating something I may have read at some point or another.
Yeah.
MTV was just like, oh, we have this music catalog, just use whatever you want in the show, and they were just, I mean, this was their first gig on television ever, so they're like, fuck it, and they didn't know that eventually maybe they would want to market this to their Uber fans, like, the guy, if you're unfamiliar with the state, go check it out. I think it's on Hulu or Netflix or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But it's the guys that did Wet Hot American Summer, and they did Viva Variety on Comedy Central, which I don't know. I don't think it was as good, but they did a lot of great. They did and have done and continue to do. All the people that are alumni of the state continue to do really great work. There's just a bunch of them that are just on. I
didn't watch this.
Like almost every single like really funny show, you'll see one of them
having something to
either like a minor or major character. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, some other shit. Some other shit that I can't think of.
The pedigree is enormous. I thought you were talking about it being funny that I thought you were talking about Mike Judge and Beavis and Butthead and them not being able to see into the future and not be able to see that eventually they might have Uber fans who might want to re-listen to this shit. And I was going to say, hey, Mike Judge is pretty good at predicting the future. I mean, this is the man who made Idiocracy. He should have known.
Yes.
He should have known.
Donald Trump is like a President Camacho.
But he's not a black man.
No. Or a wrestler.
Yeah.
Look at your head. I thought it would be bigger.
I still have never seen that movie.
God damn it! You need to borrow it. I don't watch it with the kids.
I had it DVR'd for a while, and then our DVR was getting really full, so I.
You didn't DVR it off like Comedy Central, though.
No. I DVR'd it off of one of the pay networks. It was on there, and then it was on either HBO or Netflix for a little while, and I had it in my queue. But I keep.
Idiocracy was one of those movies that I watched once, and I was kind of about.
Yeah. And then you watched it again?
I watched it again, and I was like, okay, I get it now.
Right, yeah.
Like, I thought it was just dumb the first time, and it is. But just like with Beavis and Butthead, you have to remove yourself from it and be like, okay, it's dumb, but here's why it's dumb.
Right.
And it's not dumb just for cheap laughs. It's dumb to kind of make some social commentary.
Think about it. Oh. All right.
I like sex.
I like sex. We're at 54 minutes here, and we have a whole bunch of things we could talk about. I don't know. I was trying to think of what.
Talk about this thing. Talk about the thing from last night.
I guess I could talk about that.
We can go a little bit over, whatever.
Yeah,
Becky probably won't mind watching another episode of Downtown Abbey.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I was I mentioned, or maybe a month ago or so, I mentioned to you I was going to go to this thing on the 16th of July, and did you want to go?
Speaking of Downtown Abbey, it has Professor Hardcastle McCormick in it, which is nice. No, that's not One Piece. That is Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. Well, I was using.
What was it? McGarnacle?
McGarnacle?
Professor McGarnacle. You've never saw which Wizard People, Dear Reader?
Be what?
Wizard People, Dear Reader.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
It's like, you could probably find it on YouTube. It's like the first Harry Potter movie.
Yeah.
With like some guy like reading it as a story.
Yeah.
The guy who's reading it was also the person that created the Professor Brothers in China, Illinois. And it's called Wizard People Deal Reader. and he's like, Chapter 1. Harry Potter was a wizard. And here's the Dumbledore man. And it's really entertaining. And it's like, and they're talking about what's his his uncle's name?
Vernon. Uncle Vernon.
Uncle Vernon. Well, he's like, and his face is the worst.
Oh, are you talking about like his godfather, like the wizard godfather?
Yeah, the wizard.
Oh, wizard godfather is
no, not wizard. Like his actual
his actual uncle.
His actual uncle
is Uncle Vernon.
And he calls him like Uncle Salt Porker. And his cousin is cousin Roast Beefy, Weefy.
Oh.
And then like Harry brings in a letter, and his cousin snatches it away, confusing it for some sort of cookie or wafer.
He tries to eat it.
No, he doesn't. But like, it's the actual. They're showing the actual movie.
Oh,
and he's
okay.
Just
so
like He's just like he's reading the story.
Got it. Oh, I do got to check that out. I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter films,
and it makes you appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the fuck we were talking about that thing.
Oh, the thing. Yeah, okay.
The thing.
I was gonna go to this thing, and I tried to describe it.
You did go to the thing,
and I did go to the thing, but I had a hard time describing it. I'm gonna try to describe it now. The thing that I went to was Sindependence Day, which was an event put on by the Federation of Belligerent Writers, which is a group out of Worcester, Massachusetts.
Worcester, or Worcester, as you non-New Englanders would say.
Yeah. They normally perform at Ralph's Rock Diner out in Worcester, which I think might be a dive bar. They mentioned something about a dive bar at the end.
I might have to check this group out if they have a pinball machine at their dive bar.
That's a...
Which seems like a prerequisite, but like the last couple I've been into don't have them, and I'm like, what the fuck, dudes?
So I went to this thing because it was suggested to me by somebody who knows that I'm a writer and thought I needed to get out more and meet other writers. And I looked into it and I was like, I don't know if this is going to be a thing where I meet other writers. It sounds like a performance thing, and maybe it's just that I don't know how to network. Yeah, it was pretty much a performance thing. And I went and saw it, and the idea of it is that they have two people with some writing background or writing skills or whatever, all of them wearing masks of some sort, some of them luchador masks, some of them just pirate masks or other things. And they bring these two people out, and they give the two people 3 words, and they give them 5 minutes to write something. Story, a poem, battle rap, whatever.
Is that like a thing now? I keep on seeing epic rap battles on YouTube as something that
epic rap battles.
See, I've never watched one.
Some of them are terrible. Some of them are not so good. I'm trying to think of what the most recent best one I saw was. But they do a lot. They've done a lot with Darth Vader, and there's one. I think there's Darth Vader versus Lord Voldemort, to bring it back to Harry Potter for a second. I might be wrong about that, but they do historical figures, obviously, hence the name. That is great.
It reminds me of something. I don't know. It reminds me of something Weird Al-ish but not as good.
These guys are pretty good.
Okay.
But like I said, some of the episodes of Epic Rap Battles of History are great, and others are kind of eh.
Because and I just want to mention, before we saw the movie on Friday night, we went to the theater up the road, and they have the little thing where you can get a beer or a drink or whatever. So we each got a beverage that we could enjoy at the theater. And there was this kid right behind us that just wanted a cup of water that looked exactly like fucking Weird Al circa 1985. Without the glasses, though.
That's
like
a
he
pretty
was
good Weird Al look.
Like he had like this.
Wait, without the glasses?
Without the glasses, but he had the Aloha shirt. He had like an afro going on.
Yeah.
He had a mustache, and he was wearing like Chuck Taylors and like shorts that were a little too high on his knee. And I'm like, what is this fucking kid? Like he went away, and I'm like, was that fucking Weird Al?
Was that with the spawn of Weird Al?
I don't know.
Weird Al Jr.?
I think he did have a kid, but I think he might have been a girl.
Oh, okay.
And that was definitely a man.
Okay.
I don't know. It may have been a trans person.
Could have been.
Little hormones to get the mustache in there.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, you can always paste that shit on.
Yeah, it looked real though.
Oh, okay. All right.
It looked bad, but real.
Even worse. So I went to see the Federation of Belligerent Writers, and two people get up, they write something, and during the 5 minutes that they're writing, they play loud dance music, and people get up and dance, or some people got up and danced.
Some people were confused at what was happening.
Some people, like me, were confused at what was happening because we were no longer in a dive bar. We were in a theater in Somerville, Massachusetts.
Well, you were never in the dive bar.
I was never in the dive bar. They were used to playing in the dive bar, and I think they had a lot of their fans come in, and I think their fans knew what the hell to do, including the chants. It had a very... had moments where it had a very wrestling-like feel,
and maybe a little bit of a Rocky Horror feel, like the people that were in on the joke.
Yeah, a lot of that. And what I was there for was to see how well these people could churn out writing. It's an interesting writing exercise, and I want to see how funny they could be, and how coherent they could be. With 5 minutes and distractions galore. They also handed out to the audience little soft things to throw at the writers.
Speaking of soft things to throw at writers, I was at a minor league hockey game once. This has nothing to do with writing. But I went up and I got 2 beers at the concession stand, which it was minor league hockey, so it wasn't as exorbitantly priced as if it was at the Boston Garden.
Yeah.
So I had my 2 beers, and I sat down, and I guess it was foam puck night, and little kids were instructed to throw these foam pucks on the ice.
Yeah.
But sure as shit, one of them lands in one of the 2 of my beers.
Oh.
Thunk, and goes,
it splashes right up into your grill.
Well, like everywhere.
Ugh.
Like fucking, like...
That's the
like,
worst.
when you drop something at a high rate of speed, I'm not a physics person,
no.
But if you drop something at a high rate of speed into a glass,
Kids
like
don't
most
try
of the
this at
things that, well, maybe try it at home. Like, it's just as long as it's a foam and maybe you're not going to break shit, all right? Like, it'll be a fun experiment on this in the summertime. Use water, not beer.
In the summertime, when the weather gets hot.
Water country's a very cool spot, all right? You happy? I did not sing the other one.
Simpatico. All right, foam puck drops in your beer
and goes like everywhere, and then I was just like, yeah. And then like I took the puck out and then kind of flicked it onto the ice.
Yeah. And
then there was like literally like maybe a quarter of an inch of beer left in my cup,
like a fingerful.
Yeah, and I was just like, nope. And I'm not like, I wouldn't have drank it anyways.
Yeah. Well, because there's a puck in there. You don't know where that puck's been.
I definitely don't. I don't know how many asses those have not been in asses. But I did drink the other one, which was fine. But this was back when I was broke.
Back when you were broke.
Not making any money at all, and then the $4 or $5 I did pay for that beer was
it was a lot.
Yeah. As opposed to if you go to Gillette Stadium and pay $12 for a beer.
God.
You gotta pay those. I don't know what the fuck you need.
I don't know who you're paying.
Because the only time I've ever been there was like John and I. A John,
John.
not your brother, not John, and
but A John.
A John
Not
took
B.
me
John.
there for my birthday one year. We went to see a Revs game.
Okay.
And we went to the Red Robin before.
Okay.
What we should have done was stayed at the Red Robin until right before the fucking game started.
Right.
And we should have just drank there and not fucking gone in the stadium and paid
$12
because I think it was Bud Light or something like that.
Yeah.
But at the Red Robin.
Right.
But it was like $3, and I'm like, I could have gotten so many beers.
Pre-gamed, loaded up on that.
It's hardly even pre-gaming if you were like at a restaurant.
Right. At any rate,
we beat the Philadelphia, whatever the fucks they're called.
the Eagles.
No, we're playing actual football.
Footy, soccer,
football, soccer,
European football,
or the rest of the world football.
rest of the world football. So I saw this thing. Where the hell was it? I don't
the rest of the world measurements.
So I saw this thing, and it wasn't for me. Is what I'll say. Some of them were
I'd like to check it out. So if you're willing to give it a second try,
I would be. I think there are people out there who listen to the show, including you, who would enjoy it. And here's the other thing. I went alone.
Here's the thing.
So
yeah, if you had somebody along with you, it might have been a better experience.
It would have been there was somebody sitting next to me who I thought was going to talk to me a whole bunch, but I'm socially awkward, and I got the sense this person was probably, at least with new people, socially awkward. And I was like, please talk to me.
You should have just been like, I caught a Pidgey today.
But the thing that I would say, if they happen to listen to this, I'm going to say, next time they come to Boston, more ladies, more women is what I'd say. So the bill in terms of the people,
more women writers,
more women writers. So of the matches that were in the opening bracket, there was Princess Consuela Banana Hammock versus Ronaldo, the Intergalactic Super Pimp.
That's their name.
Those are names. Yeah, but those were the two women on the bill, and one of the masters of ceremonies running the whole thing was a woman, and she was funny. But I got the sense there were others because they brought a lot of their crew with them, and I would have liked to have seen more.
A more equal ratio.
There were a lot of white dudes. Did
they have goatees?
A lot of them were wearing masks, including one who was wearing an iguana mask. So it's hard to say whether or not he had a goatee under there.
I think there's a good chance.
You think
90% of the males that were there had a Weird Al mustache or a goatee.
There was one black man, Thug Pirate Roberts. He was pretty awesome. Thug Pirate Roberts. And there was one man, the Naked Truth, who came out as an older gentleman, not too old, but older.
Was it dong out?
No. He was wearing the bottoms of a pair of American flag bikinis. And then it turned out that the top was being worn by one of the women, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock. They were funny. Their crowd loved it. I don't know. I haven't been in the best of moods. I had been listening, and we don't have time to talk about this. I had been listening to the musical Hamilton on the way in, which was kind of a transformative experience, and I kind of probably should have just stayed in musical theater realm. And not gone to see the show.
I don't ever recommend staying in musical theater.
Oh, it's such a good show. Oh my god, it's so amazing. I'm not saying again. This the league. Sorry.
See, that's something I think I would like, but then I got
Federation of Belligerent Writers up Steve's alley. Hamilton up my alley.
All right. Well, let's next time this happens, let's go.
Let's
go together.
I think their next show, to give them a plug, in case anybody out there is in the Worcester area, their next show, this one won't work because I think I'm going camping, is August 13th. It's Camp FBW. But then
they're not going to be up camping with you.
They're not going to be up camping with me, no. But then in September, they have a show, Becky's hashtag team slumber party.
Not my Becky.
Yeah, no. Then they have their wild card race in October and November to Dismember in November.
They're not cutting off limbs.
I know. I think it would have been, as with many things that I somehow end up going to alone, I think it would have been a lot more fun if I'd gone with somebody.
Yeah, well, let's do it next time. Maybe not in August, but let's maybe the Becky's hashtag something.
Go down to Worcester. Welcome to Worcester. $1.25.
We'll figure out where the pinball machines are first. So.
Yes, that's important. Yes. I don't know. I've never gone pinballing with you. You'll feel so much better about yourself if you watch me play pinball.
Well, I'll probably be having a really off night, and you'll be beating me, and I'll want to smash your head into the glass.
Well, that wouldn't be different from any other week when we're talking about the show. All right, you can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/103, 103 episodes. Ooh, what does that mean?
That means we're very close.
That means next week will be 2 years.
2 years of us doing this fucking show.
Doing this show.
So thank you for listening over the course of this 2 years, and we're gonna maybe take a little time to focus on stuff that happened before.
Oh yeah, we're gonna look back at what what's gone before. If you'd like to make any suggestions for what we should look back at, anything crazy that you remember that maybe nobody else remembers, maybe we don't even remember.
Yeah, some of the stuff I'm like, did we actually say any of these things on the show?
If you remember something that we did that maybe you're thinking, you know what, I don't even know if Chris and Steve remember that bit, write to us. Again, the email address is hot@clarkwoods.com. Not again. That was the first time I said it.
The first time you said it, and here's the second time, hot@clarkwoods.com.
Yes. Or you can send messages to us on the Twitters. I am at ECC1977.
And I am at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday. I-S, Loser. All one word. Well,
that's 103 episodes.
103 fucking episodes. We did it, man.
We did it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Empty.
Clink.
Clink.
Oh my God, you're delicious.